Welcome to Golden Drop, everybody. My name is Sharon McDonald, and I'm here to share my experiences with the lovely Blue Tansy. I know we've talked about this in the past, but I'm going to circle back because we're going A to Z on all these lovely essential oils that you love and hold dear to your heart so that you never waste your money. So all these are from my personal experience and research and using them on a day-to-day basis. And Blue Tansy is something that I personally put into my Virage skin toner and in the basic skincare line into that toner as well. And I love the way it feels on my skin. And then I apply Yarrow Palm on top. And so I'm gonna, this essential oil is interesting because it smells different every time you use it. And I think that that's hormone driven, to be truthful with you, because today it smells more like a flower. And other times for me, it smells like an herb, like marjoram or oregano. It smells like a pizza sometimes to me. So anyway, those Italian herbs are what we're going to do. So I'm going to give you the skibby on this and go over some little details that you might not have known about Blue Tansy. Why is it so amazing? What does it do? And what it blends well with. And then I'm going to offer out of this brand new book. Daniel MacDonald sold his rights to Natalie and Andy Goddard, who have turned it into a different book. So this is the new version. And you are going to get a little bit of that information on an emotional piece too. So many of you know that I went to Morocco, and Blue Tansy is actually totally native to Morocco. Isn't that fun? And it is best known for its color of blue, and that is because during the steam distillation process, it creates a product called chamazoline. Okay, and chamazoline is the sesquiterpene that comes out of that, just so you know what that means. And what is a sesquiterpene? Well, it's just something the body loves. The body loves it, and monoterpenes, and both of those things allow the body to be soothed, to be able to calm on the nervous system level. So this is why it's soothing. So those of you who have rosacea and may have some skin flare up, that's this chamazoline, that sesquiterpene, is what calms that in your skin, just so you know why it's working, okay? And on a nervous level system, it's really good emotionally because of the long strand monoterpene. And that is going to help calm the nervous system, as well as boosting the immune system. So it's super good for those cuts. And so something that is a hack that I'm going to give you now, your toner, Virage toner, it's in a spray bottle, okay? And if you add this to that, you're really getting this very anti-inflammatory skin, especially acne-prone skin, which has a lot of bacteria. It's going to be able to soothe that, get in and clean it out. But here's your hack. Are you ready? Sunburns. It's amazing for sunburns. The Virage specifically, that toner, is really good as a quick sunburn relief. Okay, and so I would highly recommend that you put this in your little arsenal, and just remember that when you're going to a warm area where there's lots of sun, or maybe it's sunny at your house because of a lot of snow and that snow glare, you get it, or off the water on the boat, fishing. There's lots of ways that you can get it, but it's really good for anti-inflammatory on the skin. That's why it's such a good beauty oil. It's really great for the nervous system, for that cognitive oil or boost, and then it's amazing for immune system as well. So here's what it blends well with. Are you guys ready? Because you might not know this. A couple of them, I've done some diffuser blends with this, in fact, that are actually really lovely, specifically for sleep. But I'm going to tell you what they blend well with. Geranium, clary sage, petitgrain, lavender, ylang ylang, juniper berry, and spearmint. Okay. And so you wouldn't think that they go well, but they do. They do. And remember, when you're trying to create a diffuser blend, you just look at what specifically this, say you need a nerve calming, maybe you need to go to sleep, and maybe you just need to relax. Petitgrain and lavender would be a really good thing to add to this for your diffuser. If it's hormone driven, you can add some of that clary sage in there and ylang ylang and get a really good relief in that way. Also, as a roller bottle blend for specifically maybe cramping, it would also be really, really good. So if you're wondering ever how to use an oil, go to what it blends well with. Look at the properties of what those essential oils help with. And that is how you can create a roller bottle blend, or you can layer for a really good effect. Maybe you're trying to deal with pain and support the body in that, maybe congestion. And that's how you kind of unwind using essential oils. That has worked for me over the last 8.5 years, and I think it will serve you well as well. So let's talk about the emotional qualities, and then I'll go on to everyone's questions. So this is an essential oil of inspired action, okay? And here's what it says. Blue Tansy supports those who resist taking action to change or transform their circumstances. It is especially helpful when individuals have become stagnant in their own progression, and provides a catalyst of a spark to overcome tendencies that vacillate between avoid or procrastinate. So it encourages the individual to live in alignment with the whisperings of their inner voice, prompting them to make necessary changes. When an individual represses these messages, they often feel lethargic, drained, apathetic, sluggish, or exhausted. Blue Tansy invites individuals to take an initiative to reclaim the life that they've dreamed of. It also teaches us to base our choices It also teaches that each act is based in a choice and requires individuals to own their own responsibility from their cumulative choices. Okay, so that is what I have to offer today. Renee, what do we have in the chat box? I saw a whole bunch of messages pop up and I couldn't.
All it was is asking about the book, like where do you get it? So we've been doing that. So
okay, yeah, I think it's at Oil Life right now.
It's Oil Life. Amazon has it. Share Oils has it. Aroma Tools has it. So it's out along with the wheel.
And I have the wheel as well. The wheel is quite clever. So you just look up different emotions and go for essential oils in that realm. So that's good. Any questions, any comments, how are you using it? You don't even have to ask a question about Blue Tansy if you don't want to. But we'd be happy. Diffuser blend. What did she say?
Sorry, I was muted. Diffuser blend to turn off your brain in order to sleep.
Okay, so my favorite for that, Teresa, is always going to be Serenity. Serenity did not work for me last night, but I didn't put vetiver on. I couldn't find it. I couldn't find it anywhere, and vetiver will always work for me. A really good triad of, a threesome of oils, a trio, is going to be bergamot, Serenity, and vetiver. Those three really, and if like you're really, really bad, if you add balance on top of that, layer, do not put it in a roller bottle and think it's gonna work. It will not. It's nice in a diffuser and it adds to the ambiance, but it's not really great in a roller bottle. It doesn't have the same effect. It changes the chemistry. So my best of luck has just been to layer right on the back of my neck, right here on the forehead, on the temples. You can also do the earlobes, and definitely get that vetiver on the toes. It really, really shuts down that whole racing mind thing.
I can tell you my have-to thing at night too is I have to, I keep a notepad on my nightstand with a pen, And so as my brain is turning and I'm thinking about 40 bazillion things for whatever stupid reason it is, I either, if it's a journal, I'll write it out. If it's a prayer, then I write it out. And if it's a to-do list, I have to write it out. But the vetiver has changed my world. My ADD brain is like settled and I'm able to focus and concentrate. And I even use vetiver throughout the day, especially in like Intune. Intune has vetiver in it as well. So that helps a lot. But I was going to say the Blue Tansy, I put 3 drops into a fresh jar of the hydrating cream.
Oh yeah.
And mix it in there. And I use that on my face all the time. I love it.
Yeah. A lot of people love it in their moisturizer.
Okay,
Yeah.
which
Good.
brings up a question. So am I wasting my oil if I am putting it a drop in my hand every time I put moisturizer on, or should I put it in my bottle?
Well, it doesn't really matter. There's lots of different schools of thought.
Okay.
I actually put it in my bottle, but I don't put it in my moisturizer. I leave my moisturizer alone. But a lot of people put that or Europalm in their moisturizer, and I just don't. I literally, for me on my face, I mean, obviously you cannot, please, this is a disclaimer, do not put Blue Tansy straight on your face. It literally will turn it blue. You will look like a Smurf. Or the little girl who, you know, eats her blueberry gum and gets waddled out, you know, rolled out as a blueberry in Willy Wonka, the first one. So you need to be careful. So Renee, I don't feel like you're wasting your money if you were to put it directly on your face. You just need to make sure with this that you are adding something to it. Otherwise you will have blue skin. So
yeah, no, I add it to my moisturizer, but if we're only putting a few drops in your moisturizer and I'm using a drop every time I'm using my moisturizer, I don't know if that like was wasting.
So you're adding it into your moisturizer and stirring it up?
No. I see other people doing that. I'm doing it every time I apply.
Okay, you're just getting, you're going to be really youthful looking. That's all that means. I mean, because like I put Blue Tansy straight, not Blue Tansy, Europalm, for example, I wash my face, put my toner on that has Blue Tansy in it, then I put on the Europalm, okay? So I'm not adding it, and then I put my moisturizer on over top of that. Now, people that want to take, you know, a different approach because they want to combine all those steps can do it the other way. But by putting it in your hand, you're just getting more of those antioxidants directly on the skin. So if you want to save money and not use as much, put it in your moisturizer and you're good to go. But if you're putting more of it, you know, like each time, just know that it's like putting rose on, right? Rose is also extremely good for the skin, and has, you know, all those amazing properties for the face and skin in general. So it's up to you. It's up to anybody that's using it. So I don't feel you're wasting your money. It depends on, you know, everybody puts their money where they want it. And so if you want to be really youthful looking, you know, as we're creeping to 50, those of us who, you know, are there, you know, sometimes turning back the clock is really nice, right?
Exactly.
So, there you go. All right. You're welcome, Teresa. We're happy we could help. And good comment, Renee, on bringing that up, like putting it in every single time.
Teresa also said vetiver and lavender helps still an hour with Serenity soft gels, but she's still struggling on getting a full night's sleep.
Yeah. So those Serenity, and what's your D3 like? How many are you taking D3? Extra D3? Teresa Massey, if you're not taking extra D3, you need to. And I get mine from Metagenics, okay? And they've got another one that is orange. Let me see if this is the one. Yeah, this is it. So this is what it looks like, but I'm extremely depleted in this. This is what it looks like, and I take this every morning, and it's 10,000 IUs. So
she's asking what is D3?
It's vitamin D, and it's a different portion. So there's D1, D2, D3, right? And so most of the time, like they add D1 to milk and food. They fortify food with it. But you know, nothing beats going out in the sun. But Teresa, you know as well as I do where you live, the sun doesn't come out very often. Like it's out here right now, but I bet you haven't seen the sun in at least a week where you're at. So that really makes a difference on the way the body and the hormones work. So sleep hormones need to see that sunlight or have the chemicals from it in the body. And so Metagenics really does a very, very good job of their research and how they obtain their vitamins. And so that is why I specifically am using this one, because I did a lot of research when trying to find out, okay, like I'm like almost at zero, which is why it's super easy for me to pull all-nighters. And the better my nutrition is, you know, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning comes and I'm like, ooh, I need to go to sleep. I need to take a nap. But that's not normal. A normal circadian rhythm goes in a cycle, and it's based on the rising of the sun and the setting of the sun. And so if your body, you know, we can sense when the sun's coming up because the sky gets lighter, even if we're not seeing very much of it, but it really does make a difference. So D3 is super important. It's just a different form. So I think D3 is the one that we miss most, specifically women. And it's the most critical to our hormones and to this sleeping mechanism. So it's not cheap. I will tell you that. Metagenics, you pay for what you get. 10,000 I use. Anything else, Renee?
She was just wondering, where do you order it from?
I ordered mine from directly from their website. I didn't buy it from Amazon. And my chiropractor sells it, but she was out.
And then what about magnesium? Would that help for her?
Absolutely. Thank you for bringing that up. Yep. And Renee and I both are fans of Calm. It's a powder form. What, Renee?
Don't do strawberry lemonade. That was horrible.
I'm telling you. I tell everybody, okay, I like plain Jane. Like, don't screw it up putting raspberry and lemon in it. Like, but some people really, really like it. But for me, oh, no way. Like, I just want the plain, good old fashioned, plain Calm. And it's in a bottle like this. Let me grab it. So this is what it looks like, just for those of you who know. They don't know. And you can get this on Amazon if you don't want to run to the health food store. It's totally fine. This comes in this is 16 ounces of powder. It lasts me forever. And magnesium is critical for headaches, for sleep, for all kinds of stuff. So it's really good. But you can buy a flavor pack where you get all kinds of different flavors and you can taste what you like. Renee, you want to share your experience?
Well, I just, did the warm water and did some, because I got the variety pack, and I was like, well, I'm going to try this one. Mixed it up, and it was a zinger all the way through the head and through I couldn't even swallow it. It zinged through my whole body. It was horrible.
Yeah. I mean, magnesium is hard to tolerate really anyway, but it is super effective. So what's your favorite flavor, Renee?
I'm going with just the natural one.
Yeah, I'm just telling you. Like the added flavors, I mean, plus, where are they getting the flavor from? It's, it's fake anyway. So for me, it's easier and better to be able to just get plain and just get it down as fast as possible. And I make mine pretty potent and then chase it with regular water. So it will, I'm warning you, if you are backed up, you will have a bowel movement because it's really good at loosening the bowels. So, I'm going to be super open and transparent with you. It could be a side effect for some of you.
She said magnesium doesn't make a difference, but she'll try D3. Okay, girl, you need to meditate or
yeah.
You need to shut that brain off.
But I know where Teresa lives, and I have a feeling that it's very sun related. I would also recommend, Teresa, that what Renee said, for sure, meditating both morning and night to call, to shut your brain off and train your brain that there's times it just has to shut off, because you're the master of your whole body, right? Specifically your brain. Your brain does whatever it wants to do if it's not trained. It needs to have structure, and it needs to have limits. And that is why we're the master, right? We just have to learn to master it. As hormones fluctuate, we become very erratical, right? We know that as women, we can become very erratic. And moods come up, moods come down. Some days you wake up and you love everyone, and other days you just want to shoot everybody else in the eye with a BB gun, right? Or poke your fork, everybody, and ride your broom. And so it just depends. But those essential oils we talked about, if you apply them even in the morning, in the afternoon, and the evening, helping your body with that circadian rhythm, it's going to take a few days, but I promise, using Serenity, bergamot, vetiver, and then balance, and keeping that in your system 3 times a day, and then again before bedtime, put it in your diffuser. You're going to have a totally different experience, especially if you're using that Serenity soft gel. Now, with that said, okay, your hormones could be so off the rocker that you might need the opposite of what you're taking. So if you're taking a lot of calming oils, maybe you need peppermint and wild orange, right? That could be the thing that's going to totally really, especially people with ADD, sometimes for them it's the opposite. Just like Coca-Cola will put them to sleep, or Mountain Dew. And if you give them a sedative, like Sudafed, normal people will go to sleep. Someone with ADD is like, whoa, they're off the rocker, they're awake, they're ready to go, and they don't go to sleep. So that's just something to keep in mind. You just got to play with it, keep a journal of what you've done each day, and find your rhythm. Once you find your rhythm, it's going to work. And if you're not taking phytoestrogen, you might want to consider taking phytoestrogen. But this D3 really helps me, and I missed 2 days of it, and I had a terrible night's sleep, and I know it's because I was missing this. So what did she say, Renee?
Sunlight definitely affects her. I think I'm past the hormonal issues. I'll also try applying the oils 3 times a day.
Yeah, and for those of you who live in a dark area, so that means anything northward. So you're talking the Dakotas, the lakes, right? Here in Vermont, New England, and Alaska, Washington, Montana, Wyoming, anything north of that, right? That whole upper portion of the United States. A little bit in Iowa, some of those Midwest states are affected as well. Depending on that season, get a light. They have those lights, like it's light therapy. That works really, really well for people. And it's like the sun, and you have it in where you're at the most in your house, and it can help. So you might consider getting one of those to put where you spend the most time in your kitchen. But that light therapy really, really does work. Really works. So I hope that's helpful. Thanks for asking those questions.
She said the light is a wonderful thing.
Yeah, it is. It is, definitely. Anybody else have anything else? Any thoughts, tips? Okay.
Hey,
Diana?
I have a lot of some people that I've been introduced to lately, they use the Copaiba and Serenity soft gels together, or just the oil, the Serenity oil, and it really helps them sleep at night.
Oh, that's
and
good.
In particular, that would only sleep 1 or 2 hours a night, and literally didn't want to really do much of anything. And I did the Vital, or the scan on her again, the Pile scan, and so that came up, and so she found something that works for her, and she's sleeping like 4 and 5 hours now, and she feels way better because she's getting her rest. So
Yeah.
that's another thing to
Diana, is
take.
that both the soft gels or is that the oil in the soft gel?
She's using the oil and the soft gel.
So soft gel copaiba and Serenity the oil.
Right.
Okay. Good to know. Yeah, it's just I don't want to say it's a crapshoot, but when it comes to hormones and sleeping and, hormones do change regardless of whether you've gone through the change or not, right? They still change. Perimenopause, menopause, post-baby, pre-baby, baby, pregnancy. I mean, like it just all affects what we're doing regardless of where we're at in life. Kind of crazy. All right. Thank you so much, you guys. I appreciate you. Next week, you're going to have Jason on Golden Drop talking about breathe. Okay, so he will be on the first Monday of every month, and we're super excited to hear what he has to teach. His will probably be a lot shorter than mine, but he's really super smart, so don't be afraid to ask him questions. All right, guys, thanks so much.